If you pop that junk up in the Bronx, you might not live, cause you're in South Bronx, the South Bronx, South Bronx, the South Bronx, South Bronx, the South Bronx, South Bronx, the South Bronx. I came with Scholar Rock to express one thing. I am a teacher.
The fastest way to get yourself heard is to blow up your own neighborhood. And we started that in the South Bronx, the first time somebody even shouted out their hood, so to speak, and it worked. I thought I was just speaking to, my block, my crew right here, and we're just gonna have this little MC battle with this other guy named MC Shen. They were from Queens, so I said, look, I'm just gonna say the South Bronx just for the South Bronx. But it turns out that me shouting out the South Bronx, Brooklyn wanted to hear it, Manhattan wanted to hear it, Jersey wanted to hear it, Connecticut wanted to hear it, and then it branched out, Philadelphia, Washington, all down to I-95, and then eventually the United States. So this was a shock to us, and I bring this to you because here you are in a place, like this obscure little town. You actually have a main street. That just made me laugh. Like Main Street. When's the last time I was on Main Street? But nonetheless, you'd be surprised where real talent is coming from these days. And if you got the heart to really, shout out where you come from, what's going on in your neighborhood, no matter what it is, doesn't matter what it is, but just shout out where you're from, what's going on in your hood, where you from, in your crew, where you're at. You'd be surprised the whole world wants to hear about where you're from. You may say, man, there's nothing going on around here. This is just where I live, and I got to get to Los Angeles to be heard. I got to be in Manhattan, New York City to be heard. All that's a myth, almost even a lie. Shout out where you're from, stand on your own ground, bloom where you're planted. Lesson number one. Lesson number two, give your talent away for free. Don't wait for money. Don't wait for recognition. Give it away. If you're good, let me put a disclaimer on there. This doesn't work for whack MCs or DJs. This is only if you really have talent and you know you're good at what you do, give it away for free. Be charitable with it. Anytime somebody says, yo, here's the mic, grab the steel and start spitting. Don't wait, you hear people say, yo, man, I ain't saying nothing until I get paid. Or why should I give up my good lyrics or my hard-earned CD or DVD or whatever? He's not paying me. She's not paying me. You will all... That attitude will only have you holding your DVD in your hand. You'll be your only fan. Give your stuff away for free. Spit your lyric whenever you get a chance. And then eventually people hear what you about, and then they'll pay for it. So charity is the best way to wealth. And I'll say that again. Charity is the fastest and most accurate way of wealth, of getting on, of selling your product, and so on. So with that, these are the two things I wanted to impress upon you and take this with you. This is 20 years of experience that I'm giving you right now, and take it for whatever it's worth. This is it. Bloom where you're planted. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing. Rock where you at, and give it away for free. Let people hear what you got. Get up in their face. Let them see what it's really all about. Any questions? As he puts on the fridge is open. Any questions?
KRS, how's your health, man?
Great. As a matter of fact, I just signed up with Celebrity Fit Club. So I don't know what that's gonna be, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna try to get a little, tone this up a little bit, and do it like that. But yeah, health is good. Health is good.
That's key right there.
It is, my man.
How's Marley?
Marley's recovering. He got to lay off the McDonald's, but he's doing his thing. It was definitely an eye opener. This whole year was sort of an eye opener. I don't know. if you heard or not, or may have heard, but my stepson committed suicide this year. These were the two blows that kind of hit us this year. Marley was first. We get a call, he had a heart attack. Like, what's going on? It's like, and it's funny because, it's like we're chilling just like this. We're chilling just like this. And like he says, how's your health? And we all may look good, or we all may, can, stand here on our 2 feet and, yeah, okay, I'm healthy because I'm standing here and I'm talking. But the very next day, it's like you wake up, you can't even breathe. You're like, yo, so it's like, it's very important to drink water, get rest, exercise, lay off that red meat, lay off the chicken too, the fried chicken especially, all of that, and it's very important. Actually, I'm glad you mentioned that because Marley is recovering. He's well now, but what what's the hardest thing is your lifestyle. To actually have to change your lifestyle. That's the hardest. That's what kills people the most. It's not the cigarettes or it's when the doctor says, okay, it's time to quit. Now you're like, oh, and it's that struggle, to do that. So he's recovering. He's doing his thing.
But what you just said, everyone has an emotional attachment with music. What was your music attachment in the worst times that you had, genre and artist?
My emotional attachment to music.
Like what's music, like the genre and the artist pulled you through a certain time?
Well, it's funny, man. I don't mean to sound so morbid about this, but the late Scott LaRock, my DJ 1987, who helped me do Criminal Minded, he was a major inspiration for me. I don't have too many sad moments in my life these days, not too many. But when I was coming up, I was homeless. I was sleeping in the park or on the train. And Scott LaRock was my social worker. His name was Scott Sterling. I was in the shelter. He was a social worker. Could you imagine this? Another thing about bloom where you're planted. I'm in the shelter. Okay, 700 homeless guys. We're all broke, drunks, drug addicts. I mean, just crazy. I'm like, how am I going to get a record deal? I'm in the shelter. And, my clothes is busted. I'm crazy. How am I really going to do this? And in walks Scott LaRock. I'm in the shelter, wondering how am I going to get started. He walks in the shelter. Now, this is like the craziest thing that bugs me out to this day. My first DJ was my social worker. It's like your school teacher. Like you go to school and like your teacher becomes your DJ, like crazy like that. But that's what got me through. It was moments, that social worker mentality, that mentor mentality, and that's something also to point out is that that mentorship. You'd be surprised how that pulls people through. You'd be surprised. I mean, we all walk around with our game face on, but then, get home, shut the door, and break down into tears. And that mentor or that social worker that can be there with you to, either pull your coat, tell you when you're going in the wrong direction, or tell you when you're going in the right direction, give you that kind of guidance. That's what really kept me going in that sense. That was like my grounding. There having that mentor, that other person that made you see that there was something else other than your own reality.
Thank you very much.
Questions?
What do you feel the underground hip hop nowadays? Do you feel like it's gotten better or worse?
It's better. Underground hip hop. First of all, technically there is no more underground hip hop. Technically, I know what you're saying. There is. I mean, like this is underground hip hop right now, no doubt about it. But as long as the internet rules, any one of you can put your stuff up on YouTube and the whole world sees it. That's the end of underground. For us, there was a time